So tell me a little bit about what you saw when you were in France in regards to alcohol levels of, I guess now we're talking about Syrah, but what you saw there when times were picked versus what you see here and what you do here.
Well, it's a very different climate in northern Rhone where I worked, as well as Burgundy where I worked. They have basically the opposite problem, where our ripeness levels and the flavors and things start coming at fairly high sugar levels, because there's actually dehydration, some raisoning that happens here. In Burgundy, they've got the opposite problem. It's rarely do they get enough natural sugar to make a balanced wine at harvest time. Usually they have to pick, because it's at the end of the growing season, the vines are starting to shut down, and frankly rot can start taking over. A lot of mildew issues come up, so they have to pick, and they end up having to add sugar to get to certain alcohol levels. 13% would be a pretty common alcohol level in a finished Burgundy, but most of the time they have to add a little bit of sugar to even get that level of alcohol. So it makes a different style of wine. Drinkers of lower alcohol wines find the high alcohol levels of wines in California too high. And I think rightly so. They can be too high. There's a burning sensation that comes along with too high of alcohol levels. Again, for me, I'm probably trying to walk the center line. I don't think you would make very complex wines in California, at least in my particular part of California, at 12% alcohol, but you don't have to make them at 15% either. You can keep them 13.5, somewhere in there, 14%.